Hey everybody, welcome back to Video Game Esoteric and our When I Feel Like It series, the Dreamcast Dreamland, where I take a look at some of my favorite Sega Dreamcast or NAOMI games of all time. And today we're taking a look at Dynamic Golf, also known as Virtual Golf, for the Sega NAOMI. And wow, this intro tries to make golf look as action-packed as is humanly possible, but I love this game, and I do love a good golf game. Before we get too far involved, though, do me a huge favor, go down below, hit like, subscribe, that notification bell definitely helps us out. If you feel so inclined and want to support the channel, I got a Patreon link down below as well. And you get a selection of characters. They don't really change up too much, but I chose this character specifically because I love his facial expressions, both when he's doing well and when he's doing poorly. It really does tell a story. Now, arcade golf games have been around forever. Things like Golden Tee, they are very popular in arcades. And I do love a good home console golf game as well. There's the type of thing that I play for 30-45 minutes, enjoy, and then put back down. But that might also be because I just love playing golf. I played in high school. I was on a team that won the state championship. This was a long time ago. But I really do love golf, and I do love a good trackball game as well. And I am playing this with a trackball that connects via USB to my computer, but I also have a trackball mouse that I've tested it, and it works great as well. I am playing this on Demule right now because getting a trackball into my NAOMI is much more difficult, but you can emulate this and play it with a mouse relatively well, and that is absolutely awesome. This game was supposed to come to Dreamcast. It was scheduled for release, quietly canceled, and it's never been ported to any home console since. So I guess technically I could have put this on unported playlist, but I wanted to talk about it more from the Dreamcast and NAOMI standpoint and less from the arcade game that just never came home. You'll see here we get a little backspin on it. If you bring that trackball back ever so slightly on your spin, it's going to give you that backspin. In that instance, it was a terrible thing to do because it took me from the green back to the, they call it fairway, it would technically be the fringe or apron on the green. Don't ask me why I know that, just because I played golf in high school. But this game is a ton of fun. Sega did a great job using the Virtua series to make sports games. You have Virtua Tennis, and you also have Virtua Golf, and it's just a bummer this never came home because it would have been such a great game, and you can see how angry David's already getting, and I know that feeling from golf. You go out for a nice relaxing 18 holes and things aren't going your way, and by like hole 8 you're just kind of pissed off and don't want to be there anymore, but you paid your money so you gotta stay and play. And since it's been a while since I played Virtual Golf, I didn't do great, and David here is going to go through the entire range of emotions of anger. He's going to get a little bit elated when he finally gets a birdie, but pegging this tree here, as you'll see very shortly, is going to just make him angrier. And if he's here for some stress relief, he's definitely not getting it today, and I probably should have laid that shot up a little bit more at the like 230-yard mark, and then played the hole from there. And that's what I do love about a good golf game, and Virtual Golf specifically, is how much different strategy is actually involved in the game itself. It really does make you think about what you're doing. It's a slow-paced game, but of course golf is, and you can sit on the couch and drink a beer the same way you could drink a beer in a golf cart. I've done it many times, and trust me, it is fun. But this is the type of game that you're either going to love or you've never played a golf game in your life. But if you are looking for a fun and new Dreamcast-era game on the NAOMI to play and you've never checked this game out, definitely do it. And I definitely just sank that putt right there. It was just a frozen rope right to the cup, and he is so happy. His day is starting to look up just a little bit, and it's going to start going very worse for him very quickly. But you'll see here, the game sometimes does screw you over a little bit. You definitely want to rotate his stance because it's aiming you in the trees at the start. I'm not sure why it would do that. You would definitely never want to hit the golf ball in that direction, although trust me, sometimes you inadvertently do it and you got to go play from the woods. It's never fun. But even with that, I hit a tree, but I managed to squeak it out onto the fairway. For what soundtrack this game has, it's pretty relatively interesting, so go ahead and listen for like 35-45 seconds, and I'll come back and talk more about how Virtual Golf was that Dreamcast game we never got. But enjoy.
Yes, it's on the green. Huh, not bad. Hole 4, par 3.
I mean, what can you really say about a soundtrack to a golf game? It's appropriate, it's fun, you get birds chirping in the distance, and you get a little bit of fun music in the middle, transitioning from holes. We are playing stroke play here, which is going to be very appropriate, because by the time I'm done with poor David here, he might go into the woods and accidentally have a stroke with the sheer amount of anger he is having, because I'm going to start playing really poorly really quickly. But that's both the fun thing and the frustrating thing about golf games. They do require practice to get better at, especially with a trackball setup, because old David here is going to try to line this putt up, and it's going to get so incredibly close to that hole, and let's see what happens. That's the type of stuff when you're actually playing golf that makes you want to just throw that club 50 yards in front of you into the woods. I mean, maybe you couldn't throw it 50 yards, and honestly, I've never thrown a club. But honestly, golf is one of those games, both virtual and in real life, that when you get screwed over and get that close to sinking that birdie putt, it really makes you just angry. And I think that's the entire part about golf, is that it's there to kind of relax you, to have fun, to try to get better at. But when you're not doing well, it can also absolutely drive you nuts. And it drove me nuts to not play that well for this capture either. But of course, if I kept playing virtual golf, I would get better at it. And I definitely do want to set up a trackball on my actual NAOMI to get it wired in for my arcade setup versus emulating it, which is kind of my go-to. But emulating it works perfectly well as long as you have the system resources. I'm running a i9-12900K with a 3080 Ti, a new build that I just recently got for my studio. So if you have a slower system, it might lag ever so slightly. But again, David's just getting screwed over today. That should have gone in. I've hit putts that fast, and they've definitely gone in. And what is he doing? He's missing it again. We're already at double bogey territory, and let's see if he can finally sink it here. Nope. The slope of that green just screwed him over, and what was that? It just jumped over the lip. David is mad. He is pissed. He's definitely having that stroke today. His doctor sent him out here saying, you're a little bit overweight. You need to do something in your life that's active, that makes your mind kind of just relax. And you can tell by the look on his face that is not what's going on today. He's not getting any of that relaxation, even if he did wear his best cargo shorts and his knee-high tube socks. I know I'm joking around a little bit. I'm imparting personality on a character that doesn't have that much, but that's always what's fun about a simple golf game like this, is you can kind of create your own fun within the game itself. And you'll see here that this drive definitely worked out well for me. Driving is easy, putting can be more difficult. You need to read that green, and the trackball is more sensitive on putting when you're trying to control the power. But when you're trying to just juice that ball as hard as it can go with the trackball, that is where the game is definitely easier. But we are on the green, and we are putting for birdie, and that is always a good thing. But we have a really long putt. So let's see, can we sink it? Can we not sink it? I forgot. I played this game a couple of weeks ago, and let's see. Nope, I lipped the cup again. That would just drive me insane, and it's going to drive poor David insane here. You can see the anger and hatred in his eyes when he looks up. Why the hell did that not go in? It definitely should have. But that's what I love so much about virtual golf, also known as dynamic golf, is it does actually feel like playing a game of golf. Is it better than Golden Tee? Well, I really haven't played that much Golden Tee in my life, honestly. I play a console golf game here and then, some of the PGA games, but it is rare. But if you're definitely looking for something different and unique and something you probably never played on the NAOMI, you could do a lot worse than virtual golf. I definitely recommend it. You will find that you probably like it more than you would assume you like a golf game. Especially if you set it up in two-player mode, you can use the same trackball for both players. If you play this with friends, throw a couple beers in the mix, you're yelling, you're hollering, you're having a great time. It's all the things that you would want out of a multiplayer arcade game. And that's why I definitely recommend, if you've never played this game before, definitely check it out. Just remember, like real golf, it's gonna probably frustrate you. Short of that, hit like, subscribe. I'll be back next week with more videos on Fridays, and I'll have videos throughout the week as well. But David here is going to go off into the woods and have that stroke. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.